Hello, my name is Darren and welcome to my channel. Now, I really want to start off this video by saying that this is for all of the teenagers, for the sophomores, the juniors, the freshmen in high school who have no idea what they're doing with their life. And people just keep coming up to you and they're asking you like, the clock is ticking. What are you planning on doing with your life? What is your career aspirations? What are you planning on doing in college? What are you going to study? When are you going to go to college if you're going to go at all? Just being bombarded with all of these questions that you have no idea what the answer is. If you ever feel like that, I'm going to tell you that you are not alone. It actually happens quite often, especially as a teenager, where you're just unsure of your identity and you're trying to find it, but you just can't. And I'm making this video as someone that is in your place right now, like as of the present moment. I'm a freshman in high school. No, I'm a sophomore in high school. And I turned 16 this year, and all of my friends have been having like all of these like same conversations. People are always like discussing like, oh my God, like we're gonna be juniors soon and what are we going to do with our lives? There's construction outside and I have to keep pausing and it's so annoying. Let's talk about identity for a second here. Like, where does it really begin? Let's go into our childhood for a second. When you're young, you're very certain on everything, right? You know exactly what it is that you want and you know exactly what it is that you don't want. You're very direct, right? Like, think about children, they literally say what comes to their mind. Like they have no filter. Children have zero filter. They will be brutally honest with you. They'll be like, your shirt is ugly, okay? Or like, I don't like this food. They don't really learn to take other people's feelings into consideration. They're just brutally honest and they're just very direct with what they want. And as children, we all had these dreams, right? Like we all had these like, maybe like they were unrealistic or they were like unreasonable dreams where we were like, I want to be a princess, I want to be a superhero or whatever. Like we had these like insane like dreams that aren't like actual like jobs or whatever, but we just wanted them and we were like so certain that we were going to be that when we were older. But as life happens, we were told that some of these dreams were maybe unrealistic or they just did not exist, magic wasn't real, and we kind of started to adapt our dreams or goals, aspirations to be more realistic, which is not a bad thing. I mean, we should learn the difference between imagination and reality, which is great. But where the issues start to come is that we start thinking that the things that we want are unreasonable and we should get a stable job, a stable career, get into this good school, do those things and, make money, have a family. These are all things that we hear from the people around us, from our family, from our grandparents. That is when we start to change. And we start to be less direct than before. We start to think more about what we say before we speak, that we start to think more about our choices. We start to question our values. We start to question our identity. This shift happens gradually. And I like to think of it as the moment when I was a child and I received a present that I didn't like. And instead of just saying like, oh my God, this is so ugly, like I learned to say thank you to the person that gave it to me. And I was like, okay, thank you. Like I love this so much, even though I didn't. But to not be rude, I did that. And that's when it happens that we start to stop listening to our internal voices, to stop being like so direct. We just start doing what is expected of us. We start thinking about how our actions may affect others, how it may affect ourselves, the world, what other people may think. Now this is where it starts going downhill, because what happens is, thinking is great, being considerate is great, but sometimes we just start to overanalyze everything. Like, am I going to be embarrassed because of this? Like, what might this person say? What might this person think, And we start like talking ourselves out of all of these decisions that we want to make and the things that we want to do because of what other people may think. I'll take myself as an example. So when I was younger, I told people that I wanted to be an artist and they came up to me and they were like, how are you going to make money? You're going to be poor. You can't be an artist in this economy. Like, it's not going to work out. What are you going to do about school? What are you going to do about college? Art is a hobby. It's not a job. So that's something that I got told so many times. And I really started thinking like, oh my God, yeah, I need to have like a side hustle. I need to make money. I need to do this. Like, I can do art as a hobby, but I can never do it full time. Like, I started having these thoughts and I started to talk myself out of this thing that I was genuinely passionate about because I thought about the future. I thought about okay, what is this gonna bring me? Like, is this actually gonna take me somewhere, or am I just doing this as a hobby? I'm just gonna be like brutally honest for a second. It always comes down to money, because the reason why a lot of parents pressure their kids to go to a good school, to be a lawyer, to doctor, these like traditional routes, is because they want their kids to have a stable income. They want their kids to have a stable life where it is guaranteed that they can lead the life that is financially secure or whatever. They just want you to be secure. They want you to have this path that you can take. They don't want you to take risks, because risks are considered to be bad. They're considered to be damaging. They were like, this is the safe place, this is the safe side, and you're just gonna go onto this path to avoid anything bad happening to you ever. It's not even easy, honestly. It takes a lot to be a doctor, to be a lawyer. But what I'm saying is that, you know, it's kind of like this security net that they create for you from a young age. So first you have your parents, your family, and I don't know, your friends, the people that you're surrounded by, telling you what you should be and what you should do. So they have all of these expectations that you have to take into consideration every time you make a decision. And then next we're not living in the old times anymore. We have this thing called phones, which means that we have this thing called social media, which honestly, it plays such a big role on how you perceive yourself and the world. And when you're building an identity, social media is 100% going to impact you in some way. And I'm going to explain why. I feel like before social media kind of came along, we did not really get this much exposure to the lives of other people. Right now, like today, I can sit on my couch in Florida, but I can still watch the lives of someone, I don't know, living in China, someone living in India, someone living like a traditional, I don't know, like someone that's a farmer, you know, completely different life from mine. Or someone that's living in New York City, they're a city girl, they're having the time of their lives. I can watch a grandma baking cookies in her kitchen. I can watch like someone playing basketball. Like I get access to so many people's lives that are like completely different to mine, as well as people that I can relate to, obviously, but you know, I'm just exposed to so many different lives and so many different people and so many different opportunities. And while this is a good thing, it could also just be straight up overwhelming. There's also this like constant shift of aesthetics and these like trends or whatever. Like now, like we used to have like this clean girl aesthetic, and now we have like, recently I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw this lady, she was talking about like clean girl aesthetic is over and now we're going to mob wife. And I was like, what even is that? Like, which again, there is nothing wrong with those things, okay, with, you know, identifying yourself with a certain thing. But the issue with identity comes when you start to pressure yourself into identifying into one of those things. When things get one-sided and you find these things putting you in a box, because you will start to think that, oh, if I'm like this, then I can't be this. Like if I'm light femme, I can't dress up in dark clothes because I have this, I don't know, light feminine energy. This is what starts happening. And again, it leads to you having an identity crisis because you don't know what to identify with. You're like, why can't I just be both? Same thing with niches. If you ask me, like, am I going to be a health influencer? Am I going to be a fitness influencer? Am I going to do art? Am I gonna play music? The same thing happened to me basically. Like I was trying to get into social media, and I'm an author, by the way, so I was like, let me start an author page for myself. Being an author is my niche, books are my niche, so let me create an account for that. But then I was like, I also want to post lifestyle content, so I was like, okay, like let me have this like personal account as well for me to post this, you know, but I can't put the two together because then it doesn't fit my niche. Just to clarify, while it is great to identify with something, feel content with having this, you know, identity where you're like so like certain about who you are, that is great. I am talking about the people that find themselves stuck between these categories, people that are unable to really draw out their true selves in the midst of all of this like external world, the digital world, and their internal world is just like a mess between all of these things that are simultaneously happening at the same time. Sometimes there's like these kinds of people that have it all figured out. Like I don't know, they've been playing piano since the age of 3 and they're just going to be a professional pianist. So they're going to go into this academy, they're going to study there, and then they're going to do all of this stuff. Or they're really into sports. They've been playing it for like, I don't know, 13 years now. They've been doing it their entire life. So they just know for certain that they're going to do this until the end. That's great. But then there's also these people that, like me, like you perhaps, because you're watching this video, that are like, well, I don't have it all figured out. Like, I don't know what it is that I exactly want to do. And I'm just so confused by everything around me. I think it comes off as really shocking to other people as well when I tell them that I don't have it all figured out either, because they'll be like, well, you published a book, like you're an author already, or like you can draw, like you're so good at drawing, like you can be an artist. And I'm like, yes, I could be, but there's nothing that I have like fully decided on yet. I don't know what exactly I want to study in college. I don't know what exactly, I just feel like I haven't found my thing yet. Like, I love writing, like I'm an author right now, but do I fully identify as an author? Like Darren Atkin is an author? Not really, because there's a bunch of other stuff that I do. I illustrate, I do this, I love music, whatever, like all of these things, and I still have not formed this like one identity yet. Take YouTube for an example. Like, I'm filming a YouTube video right now, but do I know for sure that I'm going to do this full time, that I'm going to stick to YouTube? I don't know. Like, I may switch to another platform. I don't know. I may just do posts and not videos. I may never film videos again after this. Who knows? I do not know. But I am just trying something new out. I'm trying new things out, which I think is so important to do. And what I want you to get out of this video is that, number one, there is no such thing as being 100% certain in life. Like, even the most established people don't have it all figured out. Number two is that the answer to ending this whole like identity crisis, first of all, it's never gonna end, because we're human and we are constantly changing, okay? You're never gonna be the same person you were 5 years ago, and you're not gonna be the person that you are now 5 years later. Even 6 months can make a totally like 180 in your life, change who you are and what you are. You can't do anything about that. This is not the time for you to settle for anything, okay? Anyone, anything, any career, any option, anything. This is the time for you to instead experiment, to try as many things as possible, to build on to your personality, to build on to your hobbies, to build on to whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever comes to your mind, I want you to do it without listening to this external voice, without like talking yourself out of it because you'll get embarrassed, or like it's too risky, it's too this, it's too that, like whatever. No, I don't want you to do that. You literally have nothing holding you back right now. You think you're afraid to post a video when you're 16? You think it's gonna get any easier when you're 20 and unemployed and you have no idea what to do with your life? No, it's not gonna get any easier. And so actually it's easier to take risks now. It's easier to do what you want to do now, because first of all, no one is gonna remember any of this in the future. And second of all, like, you have the ability to do it without any risks, because you have nothing, you don't have that much to lose. Like, the older you get, the more things you have to lose. You know, let's say you get a job, like, it's not gonna be as easy to post that video when you have a job, because listen to this, the older you get, the more you have to lose. And the more that you have to worry about, because the older you get, you're gonna start worrying about money. And so it's actually gonna be so much harder for you to post that video, rather than when you're right now, you're in the comfort of your bed, you're in the comfort of your room, in your house, when your parents are like actively like supporting you financially. It's so much easier for you to do whatever it is that you want now than later on. Right now is the perfect opportunity, the perfect time to do and try whatever it is that you want, to explore everything and anything. You don't have bills to pay, you don't have a family to support. Where's the risk? You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose right now. I mean, everyone has like different circumstances. I completely understand that. Like, I'm just generally saying this. Or if you're like parents are like charging you rent at like 13, okay, that's a completely different story. So it's really important that you learn how to, first of all, get out of your comfort zone and get out of your own head for a second. Like, just get out of your head, okay? And stop listening to that external voices that keep coming at you. Stop listening. Stop over consuming media that isn't like benefiting you, that is just overstimulating you. Don't waste your time, okay, doing meaningless things. Don't just be a consumer in the media, be a creator. Like, create something, try something out. Don't just be a consumer. And before you say no to something, like let's say your friend comes up to you and they go like, let's go play basketball this weekend. And you say, no, I hate basketball, I'm not gonna do it. I want you to think, like, do I actually hate this thing because I've tried and I've experienced it and I don't like it? Or is it just I think that I'm not gonna like it, so I'm not gonna try it out because I just think that I'm not gonna like it? Do you see the difference in that? In one scenario, you actually know that you don't like it because you tried it. And in a second, you're just like, your thoughts are making you think that you don't like it, but you actually don't know because you haven't even tried. One really great example that I always think about is that when Steve Jobs took that one calligraphy class, did he know that he was gonna be the founder of Apple? Did he know that he was gonna get into like this whole new world of electronics, that he was gonna be the first one to do it? No. Like, he literally did not know. Did he know what he wanted to do in the future? He did not, but he took that calligraphy class even though it seemed useless. But later on, years later, when he was building the first computer or something, not gonna give false knowledge, but he used the knowledge, the things that he learned in that calligraphy class, and he used it to create the computer, basically. And it came in useful. Did he know that it was gonna be useful back then? No, he didn't. Which is why it doesn't even matter if you don't know what you want to do. Like, that is completely normal. No one knows what's gonna happen. But it's important to keep building on your knowledge because anything and everything can come useful to you in the future. You never know. But you have to keep building on your knowledge. You have to keep gathering these skills, these hobbies that may seem irrelevant. You have to keep striving to try new things. Literally nothing that you do is a waste of time. Nothing. Like, even me making this video, like, maybe this is gonna get like 10 views. Is it a waste of time? No, because you know what this video did to me right now? Like, I'm literally gonna use this as an example. Like, am I perfect at speaking in front of the camera? No, like, absolutely not. As you can tell, like, I talk slow, I talk fast, but I'm still practicing. Like, I'm actively doing something that I know is going to be beneficial to me in the future, even if I'm not going to do social media. Communication is really important. And just by filming this video, I'm building on my knowledge regarding communication. I am practicing my communication skills by filming this video. Your identity is not just the one thing that makes you you. Like, if you asked me, like, describe yourself in 5 words, I would not know. I literally would not know. Because your identity isn't so simple. It's not just this one thing. It's a collection of many different things that make you who you are and what makes you unique, really, from other people. You're not a one-dimensional person, so you can't expect yourself to be explained in one-dimensional terms, if that makes sense. I don't know what I just said with that, but so while you are still in the comfort of your parents' house, while you have minimal risks regarding your life, because let me just tell you for a second, if you think you have a lot to lose right now, you do not, because that list is just going to keep piling up the older you get. You think you have a lot to lose right now? No, just wait until 5 years later. Wait until you're in college. Like, it's just gonna keep building up. So now is the perfect opportunity, and you're actually not behind. You don't need to have it all figured out. Like, you literally don't, and that's literally such a blessing. It's great to not know everything about yourself. It's great to not have it all figured out, because then, like, it's such an exciting journey. Like, you just have to flip your, like, I don't know, perception on it, and you're just gonna realize, like, wow, like, I have this amazing opportunity in front of me, and it's honestly, it's not too late. It's never too late. Call this cringy, call it whatever, but I want you to start on that journey of self-exploration today. Just start today, start in this moment right now, and build on your skills, build on your knowledge. I know it sounds really like stupid to say this, but don't live in constant fear, honestly, of what's gonna happen, because, you know, what's the worst that could happen? You are in the safety of your parents' home. You know, you don't have to worry about, you know, financial stuff yet. It's just great that you have the ability to start today and just do whatever it is that you want to do. Just get it out of your system. Just get it out of your mind, like, literally. Same thing with relationships. Like, you really want to be friends with this one person, but you're too scared to talk to them. Go and talk to them, literally. You never know. Like, go get rejected. Go get rejected. It's so important to get rejected because it is better to try and fail than do nothing. This video just felt very chaotic, like the construction voices. It was really hot right now. I'm literally like, the Miami heat is like destroying me. But regardless, I hope we were able to have this nice conversation, even though it was kind of like one-sided because I did not get to hear your thoughts or your comments. But don't forget to comment down below what you thought about it. And I really hope to see you guys again on this channel, hopefully with a new video. So let me know your thoughts below, and I will see you guys next time.